So lately, I was looking for some inspiration, and I found this beautiful effect. It felt so peaceful that I set it as my laptop screensaver. But as a developer, I couldn't just let it be. I had to know how it worked and rebuild it.
To get started, all we really need is a simple container. This is where our rain falls from top to bottom. Then we position a small drop element at the bottom center, and with a bit of border tweaking, we can shape it into something that actually looks like a raindrop.
For the ripples, we create two ellipse shapes and stack them on top of each other. Then we wrap them inside a parent container so we can position the entire ripple system at the bottom.
To create the splash, we need a random organic shape. One lazy but effective way to do this is to take a screenshot of the shape, upload it to a GPT, and have it generate the clip path for us. Once that's done, we place it inside the rain element and position it at the bottom center, exactly where the drop hits.
Next, we add the bubbles. We start by creating 4 small bubble elements inside a parent container. Each bubble is then positioned absolutely and given slightly different sizes and positions so the splash feels more dynamic. Now we have one complete rain element, but one drop obviously isn't enough. To fill the screen, we need many of them, and they should appear at random positions. So let's define a small function that creates a rain element dynamically and then builds all the inner HTML for it.
For each rain element, we generate random left and top values to place it at a different position. The 250 represents the width of the rain container, ensuring the drops spawn within the screen. After creating the element, we append it to the document and assign it a lifetime, removing it once the time expires.
All of this logic lives inside our function. But to keep the rain going, we need to call this function repeatedly, so setting an interval will help us. As the function keeps running, we'll see drops appearing and disappearing across the screen. But the drops that are farther away should appear slightly smaller than the ones closer to us.
So we can use the top position of each drop to calculate a depth value. This value ranges from 0 to 1, where drops at the top have a value close to 0, and those near the bottom approach 1. Using this depth, we can scale each rain element accordingly. We start with a minimum scale of 0.5, and as the depth increases, the rain scales up. Finally, we apply this scale to the rain element. Now we can see the scaling based on the depth. As a final step, we need to animate the drop, ripples, splash, and the bubbles. But first, we define a total duration for the entire animation. Let's call it X. The drop uses the first half of this duration as it falls, and once it hits the ground, the second half drives the ripple, splash, and bubble effects.
So, inside the same createRain function, we can assign a random duration to each drop, ranging from 1 to 2.5 seconds. Along with that, we also add a random delay, so the drops don't all animate at the same time. We then set these values as attributes on the rain element, so they can be used directly in CSS.
We start with the drop falling animation. At the beginning, the drop is positioned above the screen, so we translate it upward and keep it visible. Only the first half of the animation is used for the fall, so by around 49%, the drop reaches the bottom.
After that, for the remaining duration, we simply hide the drop by setting its opacity to 0. Lastly,
Apply the animation to drop with the duration and delay, and make sure to set animation film mode backwards, so during the delay, the drop is already translated above the screen, preventing any unwanted flickers.
The drop animation looks good.
Next up are the ripples. At the start, they're completely hidden with a scale of 0. They remain invisible until the drop hits the surface at around 49%. Then the ripple begins to expand outward, scaling up while fading out, giving that natural spreading effect.
Here, both ripple elements are animating at once, so fix it by adding extra delay for the second ripple element. Later, we have the water splash. We follow the same idea. The splash stays hidden until the drop reaches the surface, around 49% of the animation. Right after that, we apply a series of scale transformations to get the splash effect.
Lastly, we have the bubbles. For this, we use two separate animations, one that moves bubbles to the left and another to the right. Both follow the same timing logic. They remain hidden until around 49% when the drop hits the surface. After that, we apply simple translations and scaling. And to make the bubbles look natural, we add additional delay to each bubble. And that's how we can make this amazing rain effect.